Hi, my name is John, and I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about my brother, Mike Broadbent. Most of my memories of Mike were from when we were growing up together in Michigan. Just after he entered his sophomore year of high school, the family packed up and moved to Tennessee. I, of course, continued on to Florida, so I really didn't have much communication with him after that. So most of my memories are from growing up in Michigan together. But before I get started, I wanted to bring up a controversy that has been on my mind for many, many years, and I wanted to take this opportunity to get it out in the open and get it off my chest, and hopefully bring some closure to it. I know that on his birth certificate, Mike's name is Michael. And I know that Jack and Jackie and Mom and pretty much everyone else who knows him always called him Michael. But he will always be Mike. Growing up, Mom called him Michael only when he was in trouble. Every other time it was Mike. But somehow through the years, it transitioned into that being his regular name, Michael. Unless maybe he was just always in trouble. I don't know. But I just wanted to set that straight. I don't think I've ever called him Michael before. As far as my memories of Mike, one of the main things I remember about him is that he was accident prone. He was kind of a klutz. When we were living in Detroit, he decided to take a face dive onto the floor and landed on his lip and split it open. I think he was excited because Jack was either coming or going, and jumped off the couch. At some point he broke his front tooth, and of course there was the bicycle incident. Mike decided to ride a bike without a seat. All it had was that metal pole where the seat is attached. Well, that accident caused some stitches also. The one incident that affected me personally was when we were very little and living in Flat Rock. My dad had this wooden bench down in the basement that he used for wedding photography, and the legs on it were very much towards the center, so it was unstable and it would rock back and forth. Me and Mike liked to use it as a teeter-totter, and of course, me being the older brother, one day I decided that I was going to jump off of it and cause Mike to go flying, to the ground, and I'd get a big laugh out of it. The only thing is I forgot to get my face out of the way, and my end of the teeter-totter came up and whacked me right in the head. And I have a scar. It's still there. This is, I never got stitches. I guess that was before stitches. But you can't see it hardly anymore because it's blending in with all the other wrinkles on my forehead. But that's one of the, you know what, I guess that really isn't about Mike being a klutz. That was more about me being a jerk. But it is one of my strongest memories of Mike. And there are others, but I can't tell those. One other thing, you probably don't know this. I don't know if anybody does, but Mike is a published author. In fact, he's a poet. Back in the mid to late 70s, I and some friends of mine were producing a Star Trek fanzine, and Mike wrote a poem. He wrote a Star Trek poem, and we thought it was so cute that we went ahead and put it in our second edition of Sailot's Roar 2. And this was printed and distributed throughout the country. Probably 300 copies were made. Since this is probably the only opportunity you'll ever get to hear it, I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Again, remember, he was maybe 11 or 12 years old when he wrote this. So, It's called The Comical Killing of the Captain, Mirror, Mirror. Let's go back in time to the day I said, I will not be captain until the captain is dead. I slowly entered through the door, pulled out my phaser number 4. I fired upon the captain's head, which lay upon a rusty bed. Then the captain was no more, and I ranked higher than before. Commodore Wesley came to me, said, "That will cost you a great big fee." The Commodore said with a grin on his face, "Sorry, Spock, you're out of place. If you can't pay the appointed fee, you'll have to crawl on your hands and knees." I got down on my hands and knees, said, "This is the last time this will ever be, for I will rise up from this place to be the king of outer space." By Michael Broadbent.